This ain't your grandpa's fight.
Guess you wonder where I've been. I searched to find.
That's how you get into any house you need to. Only do this if it's your house.
You know, got a thing for you, and I can't let go.
Alright everyone, welcome back to the meat market. Today is the first video that we have live. We've got Willem Griffiths on, joined by me, your host, Josao Longoria. So, I saw that you wrote down some topics. I want to see what you want to talk about first. But we've already had Willem on the podcast. We had him on with a louder guest, so it was pretty hard to hear him.
Yeah, really a bit of a shit show.
Yeah.
We were pretty drunk too.
Yeah, so that was pretty bad. So now we're giving it another spin. But how was your day today, Willem?
You know what, man? My day was pretty fantastic, pretty smooth, productive. I slept in a little bit. Got to hang with my buddy here. I love spending time with Dirty Joe. Always nice. He's always turning me on to some interesting talking points, some stimulating thoughts, and I think the highlight of my day, no doubt, was watching the live video of the most recent Alex Jones and Joe Rogan podcast, man. Absolutely.
So good.
Oh my goodness, it is so goddamn entertaining. It's take it as you will. I listen for entertainment. I'm not saying I buy into all of his thoughts and ideas, but you got to give the man credit. He has absolutely aced the entertainment factor, man. Like I'm laughing half the time and I'm really engaged.
Joe Rogan is a interdimensional demon. So we're listening to that podcast with Joe Rogan and Eddie Bravo and Alex Jones, and all in your household, everyone has graduated from the university. And,
except Zach, but he's graduated UNC, so everyone is technically a college graduate.
Yeah, so everyone's a college graduate, so everyone's getting pretty mad at the things that he's saying. But
absolutely, because they're semi-indoctrinated into the mindset of you believe this stuff that aligns with some societal and intellectual values, and if someone seems to penetrate that and have an offer, especially a conspiracy idea, it's an automatic trigger response to say, no,
yeah.
I don't believe it.
So, what are some of the topics that you want to talk about?
Oh, man. Okay, I just want to maybe start out with a little story since we're talking on that topic of, interacting around a crowd that has, college-educated young kids who are kind of trying to find themselves, trying to find their intellectual identity. And I'll tell a little story about Joe and I. This was only last week. So, Joe's coming over to my house. We haven't hung out, together in a while, especially at my crib, and right when I hang out with him, he instantly gets me jacked up talking about how the moon landing is fake or staged, and it makes me excited, but I'm not going to get too worked up about it because everyone has their opinion, and to me, who gives a shit? Because I wasn't there, and the moon landing really doesn't mean that much to me. Do I think it was staged? No, but is it possible? Sure.
Yeah.
So I get this idea because I know that Joe is really, really good at stimulating my roommates to absolutely catch fire with these.
Drive them to insanity.
Yeah, because he has these, non-standardized ideas that just really get under their skin for whatever reason. So, right as we're about to walk into my house, I know all my roommates are home, and I whisper to Joe, I tap him on the shoulder and say, hey, walk into that living room and just start firing off.
Yeah, I remember. What I remember is
about the moon landing.
Yeah, you looked at me and you were like you said that, and then after that you were like, moon landing, and I was like, let's go.
You knew. So we walk into my living room, and my four roommates are sitting there in quiet, peaceful silence with the lights off, watching some newer version, kind of of a scientific show, kind of like Planet Earth.
Yeah.
They're completely calm and tranquil. Maybe a couple of them are high, having some beers, just having a very chill evening. And Joe just stomps in and states, the moon landing was fake! And fires off on all these points from there. And I will tell you, in less than 90 seconds, it went from peace and tranquility to an absolute state of chaos.
A nut house. A madman show.
An absolute nut house.
Dude, I'm just going to say something right now so everyone that's watching or listening can hear. Hey, dude, all the cats that are over your house, I forgot that I have cat allergies.
Wait, back up. We gotta hit this a little bit. So, they are absolutely firing off at Joe because he's staying, and because They should know now when Joe throws out bait like this, like the moon landing is false, he knows it's going to piss them off, but they always bite. They can't just ignore it.
They can't
There's
resist.
something deep down because of like the way they've been educated and what they believe, they can't resist fighting back. So it just turned into a madhouse. We were pulling up articles, voices were elevated, talking over each other. I just think it's funny how, even though I'm not sure maybe Joe believes it, it kind of sounds like he does, but I can never really read the guy. Nonetheless, if you bring up an idea or concept that challenges a fundamental scientific or American belief, a lot of people just can't help themselves but to fire back.
Well, if it's something that we've been taught our whole life, people freak out if you ever question it, no matter what.
Right.
Dude, so...
Well, what we're reflecting on is like, the basis of this point was like, if the moon landing's not real, then what is?
Yeah. What else are they, would they be hypothetically lying to us about? Because, dude, I don't know what I believe. I've studied both sides, but all I'm going to say is, I'm more interested in how people are going to react to the things that I have to say. Mm-hmm. And, when I question things, I want to see how people react to it.
And it's so entertaining. But, my favorite argument that you have, and, I can't rebuttal this, is if the moon landing was real, why haven't we gone back?
Oh, just a big rock. Why would we go back? That's bullshit. That's bullshit. Yeah. All right. So I kind of want to talk about Florida.
Oh man.
But first, I just want to reiterate, dude. When I go over to your house, you have all these cats, dude. And I forgot that I have cat allergies. And now, just so everyone that's watching, I'm scratching my face. I can't stop scratching myself. Dude, my lips swell up. Dude, it's bad. It really, really, pisses me off. I'm sorry. But
I'm on the same page.
It's not your cat.
It's not my cat. I had a cat, Junior.
Oh, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Junior.
Lived to be 13 years old. He was a good old boy, very chill cat. Yes, would he go old and senile, piss in the corner of the living room? Sure, but he was a good old boy.
It's like an old person. If they start pissing everywhere, you still love them.
That's actually a pretty quick, funny story about the demise of Junior. So I knew Junior was going out.
Your cat?
Yeah, my cat Junior, 3 days ago.
I remember I helped bury that cat, man.
Yeah, it's the same day. So the night before, he was walking around all wonky like Frankenstein. I was like, oh man, this cat's not doing well. And he's old as hell, but a flip just switched, and I had a bad feeling about it. Anyway, that was back
a switch just flipped.
Yeah.
A flip just switched.
A flip just switched. Anyway, I was back in undergrad studying biology, so I was on campus all day and then recreating and stuff. So I went on campus all day and then climbing at the rock wall to cool down before going home, and I get this urgent, I start to get phone calls from Zach and Peter, just one after another, and I kind of knew after the third one, I was like, I think Junior's cashing out or something's going bad, but it was a fucked up feeling in my head. It was like, this is bad on my part. I really didn't want to deal with it. I was just gonna I'm gonna finish my rock climbing session and come home, and my girlfriend at the time calls me. She's like, I'm here in front of the rec center. Come out. Junior's dying. Hop in the car, ditch my bike, fly back home. And my cat is just laying lifeless on my bed. And Peter and Zach are looking absolutely traumatized. Well, what happened is they saw Junior start to have a seizure.
Oh my God.
And apparently he had this catastrophic death.
No pun intended. Catastrophic.
Catastrophic death, or he was pawing, screaming, screeching, and they're just standing there. Not
they usually don't go out like that. They usually go out pretty peaceful.
It was a pretty ugly way to go. Luckily, I didn't see it. Peter and Zach were traumatized.
Well, they're like, the cat's dying. You get back there, Junior's on your bed, dead.
Lifeless. I've never held a lifeless animal.
Soul, a lifeless soul.
Sure, his soul moved on. He was a good boy.
Dude.
Anyway, dug a hole in my front yard, buried the boy. Rest in peace. But these cats, it is what it is.
They'll rub your butt, though, but their butthole on your, on your chest.
They're all fat.
Yeah.
They're all out of shape.
Yeah.
They don't really go outside. They don't really do much, but they do like to piss in my luggage under my bed, and that drives me nuts.
They love rubbing their asses.
They're not bad cats, but they're not my favorite. I could do without.
Dude,
But the consensus I came to, and you won't agree because you have these dogs, is I'm 23 years old. I don't own a house. I have lots of momentum, movements, transitions going to come in my life. I'm not a pet guy.
Yeah, you don't seem like a pet guy.
I don't want to hold me down.
You seem like you don't want to have to deal with it. Come home, pick up that poop. Clean up pee. I can't see you doing that.
I go on vacation. What do you do?
Yeah, you're a vacation guy, and some of us aren't as fortunate as him to go on vacations.
Fuck you.
But
Speaking of vacation, though, Florida.
Okay, yeah. Let's get to that. But no one, like, this is something you said. Dude, no one wants to come home and deal with a dead animal. That's for sure.
I didn't.
You come home, who wants to, yes, I can't go home. I can't wait to go home to go deal with a dead animal. No one's ever said that, man. No one wants to deal with a dead animal, you know, dig up. Dude, I have a quick little story.
Yeah.
My great-grandmother's house, we used to have, so she had a lot of birds, a lot of cats, just tons and tons and tons of animals. It was kind of like a zoo.
Kind of sounds out of control, man.
It was kind of like One Who Flew Over a Cuckoo's Nest, that movie about like all that psych ward, but with animals. The animals were all insane. There was birds, cats, dogs. There was even an armadillo.
Oh.
But basically,
Was this in Gresham?
this is a little bit outside of Gresham, near 82nd on Portland.
Okay.
The viewers who know about 82nd, if you know, you know. Basically, I was the designated grave digger.
Oh,
and
man.
so I would.
You got one or two of these things dropping every day?
Oh, no, not every day, but I mean, you know, man, like when a cat gets in a fight with its daughter, you know, slaughters it, you know, what's going to happen next?
Excuse me?
Birds start dropping from the bird cage because, you know, they got some sort of bird disease or some, some sorts. They got the bird flu, and you got to give them a proper burial, man, and you got to bless them, put them in a little shoebox, and dig a hole. You know how it's for a human, it's 6 by 6 feet?
You put them in a shoebox? I buried Junior Bear.
Oh, I remember.
And I sound a little heartless about that. The only reason I talk about it without so much
but we all said
sympathy and emotion is because, like, this cat was going out. So it took me a week of, like, knowing he was going to die.
It's like driving around a car, you know.
He didn't get hit by a car and freaked out. Yeah.
Yeah. But, so I remember we said a little blessing before we put Junior back into the grave.
Yes, everyone said a few words. It was really beautiful. It was raining hard, cold.
Yeah. But, so I would have to bless the animals, put them in a shoebox. You know, because I can, you know, I have the power to bless things like water.
Because you're Catholic and you took your first communion. Are you confirmed too?
Yeah, I'm a baptized Catholic, and all my views align with that.
That's not true.
Okay, so anyways, I would have to bless them, dig the hole, and with a human it's 6 by 6 feet, I think. With an animal, it's 3 by 3 feet, I think. That's regulation code. You guys can check that up.
Let's fact check that.
But basically. Yeah, I was the grave bearer, the grave digger, and I would just always get a call, hey, you know, Bluebird died, or, you know, Tomahawk died, and then you got to go bury him up. So that was something that I will never forget, you know, and they stunk, and I have no sense of smell. So you know when I say they stink, it really stinks.
It is weird, man. You can't smell a damn thing.
Yeah, I have no sense of smell. You put like, so when people, you know, fart, don't smell, that's kind of a good thing.
It's a blessing.
Yeah, so if I go on a date, though, the girl has bad breath, I'm never going to know the difference. So it's good for her, bad for me.
Not bad for you, can't smell it.
Yeah, I guess. But what if it's, you know, let's not go into that. So,
Florida.
Okay, let's talk about, so recently Willem took a trip to Florida to visit a few family members.
One family member.
Oh, one family member. But basically, go into that a little bit.
Alright, so on my maternal side, my maternal grandmother, her name is Rosalie. I call her Nona, which is actually Polish for grandma, even though she's full
Speak
Catholic.
with your chest.
Excuse me, Polish for grandma, even though she's full Catholic. So she's widowed. My grandfather Frank passed away about 4 years ago. Rest in peace, great man. And she's a full 100% blood Italian, actually second generation of Italian immigrants. Full Catholic, goes to church every Sunday, and a full-on conservative Fox News fanatic.
Fox News fanatic.
I'm telling you, this woman falls asleep to Fox News, wakes up to Fox News. When she turns on her car, Fox News radio comes on.
You think you're about to get in the car, get a little bit of a break, and then you get in and it's like, it starts going off about all this stuff.
So, you know, she's old, she's talking away, she's conservative. I don't knock her for it. However, what happens though is, to me, I'm a button pusher, and I love to see people heated up.
Same thing with me, man.
And every time I go there to Florida, I know that, you know, she hasn't seen a family member in a month. A family member hasn't visited in a month, so she just had these Fox News ideas plugging in her brain, and she's had no one to project to. So I know I can just go to her place in Florida and just hit her with these stimulating points from the liberal perspective and just let her rip. And I'll tell you what, man, last time
You got to speak up, man.
At best, last time I was there, it was absolutely the best content yet. She's, last time I went there before Trump got elected, she was anti-wall. Now she's for the wall. I asked her, Nona, what do you think about tunnels? I'm for the tunnels too.
Okay, yeah, that was the best. That was my favorite part.
No,
so you said, let me clarify it a little bit better because you're going really fast.
Sorry.
Alex Jones. So basically, you were saying, how do you feel about the wall? And she's like, the wall's a good thing, blah, blah, blah. Was going on and on about the wall. Then you go, what about the tunnels? Because from Mexico, they're building tunnels to get underneath what the wall is going to be. And they've been doing that for a really long time. So when you're asking, what about the tunnels? You were referring to them illegally immigrating in through the tunnels. And she thought you were talking about the U.S. building tunnels. So you go, how about the tunnels? And she goes, I'm for the tunnels. And you're like, you're for the tunnels that they're digging? And she's like, no.
Oh wait.
And then she goes, oh, about that? We're gonna build walls underneath the tunnels.
Yes, she says the wall's gonna go a certain amount underground, so you can't build a tunnel. She says
they're gonna build a wall underneath the dirt.
False statement.
Yeah, that's not true.
However, what's funny, man, is when I stimulate her with these, with these questions, her immediate dialect is like the actual projection of Fox News. It's like I turned Fox News Play on and it comes out of her mouth.
Yeah, it's like you press a button, She's got it queued up, ready in her brain. When you start talking about something, her brain goes back to like a file that she, heard on, Fox News. And
another one that gets her going, man, because she's Catholic and she's, how's it going, Malachi? Malachi just got home. Should we take a little tea break?
We'll keep going.
Okay, keep her going. Malachi just pulled up. Good in the podcast. Good to see you, brother. So, another one she gets fired up on, can never lose with this one, is abortion. Because she's Catholic. She had 6 kids. And she's full conservative.
Real family values.
She believes that life begins at conception. And actually, I don't know how recent it was, but New York just passed a bill that you can actually have an abortion up to the time of contraction.
Yeah. I remember I texted you about that and told you to ask her that.
But I have those videos saved, man. If there's a way to add an ad link to, if you can have some subsection of comments or headers of included content, I've actually, I record all this on Snapchat because she's so old that she can't tell I'm recording.
I know, dude. That's another funny thing.
She'll talk right at the camera.
That's a funny thing about the videos. I was like, does she see the camera?
No.
But she doesn't see the camera.
It's amazing.
And she'll be looking right at it, and I'm just like, it's kind of like,
I feel bad.
Yeah, I don't really know how to create an analogy for that, but I don't know. It's kind of like all right, never mind. I'm not gonna say that about your.
I guess the last thing I'll bring up about my grandma. She is a sweet.
She's awesome, bro. I love her.
A great family woman. And some of the points she brings up are interesting and stimulating. I gotta say. But oh man, what was I gonna say about her? Shit, we might have to take a break.
Dude. Another thing she said, so I had you ask her about the moon landing.
Oh, yeah.
And then she just goes, one question. Why haven't we gone back? And she goes, her face just goes blank. Like it was like, when she's digging for those files that she has on cue.
Doesn't exist.
Yeah, they're it's her brain searching for it, like on that SpongeBob episode where they're burning all the files in his brain, and she's looking for that file, but it doesn't exist. So her face got all blank, and she's like, "We have gone back. We have gone back."
We have gone back.
That was her default. Yeah, it was like a short circuiting.
Yeah,
like some water got some. We have gone back by default.
Yeah.
But all right.
I remember what I was gonna say, and then we can take a little break and calm down for a sec. But interesting thing from the political spectrum. So when the election was going on, I was actually back in Florida at that time because we like to visit her once a year because we don't really know when she's going to cash out. She doesn't exercise, she doesn't eat healthy. She's still chugging though, 86 years old and looking good. But she was very anti-Trump. She thought he was an idiot. She thought he was outrageous, boisterous, not holding up good religious values, and she was a Marco Rubio gal, because her all-time...
Rubio's from Florida.
Right, and her all-time favorite person in history is Ronald Reagan. So she's, and she loves George Bush, too. So she's, more of that strict conservative figure in the traditional sense as in the last 2 decades. But what bewildered me, man, is that she really didn't like Trump. I come back this time, she fucking loves Trump.
Really?
So I don't know if it was Fox
It's
News.
Fox News.
It must be because
Yeah.
like she still holds those moral religious values that like the way she judges a person in the text of their in the context of their actions, and he hasn't gotten any better. But I think that the Fox News propaganda has literally just ingrained her slowly to transition into thinking, I like Trump, and she won't bring up the negative things. She just has those automatic responses, and that is, he's doing good for the country. Look at the economy. Look at the
They are building walls underneath the dirt to block off the tunnels.
And you're just like, no, they are not.
Man.
All right, we're gonna take a break.
That's a lot.